Hey everyone.
Hey there.
So welcome back to Fixing Our Way Home. We got a lot to go over and I'm going to let Steve start us off.
All right. So this video, you're going to see a lot of changes to the exterior of the home. Much of it, we were not present when it took place. We have contractors to do the roof and other things that are big changes on the house. We got some video footage of it, as much as we could get, having not, being that we don't live at the property. But even our security cameras picked up some good video as well. We'll show you some of that through the roof restoration process. So what we did was we had an option to do a typical shingle roof or to go back to metal. And we opted to do metal again, just because why put a shingle roof on every 20 years when you could put a metal roof on once? This roof should last the rest of our lives at least, and beyond to the next owner. In any case, that's one item you'll see today, but there are some other smaller items and some big. So you'll notice in this video that the rotten porch was removed. The contractor came out, took that off.
But unfortunately, we were not there for that. And the camera that we had, the security camera we had, was off because they had to take it down to remove the porch.
Actually, they left it on, but when they ripped the porch off, they just let it dangle, so it really only got footage of the floor, which was kind of funny. But so that one camera would have caught their video, but because they took it off so fast, it got nothing. In any case, we did install a small area of skirting. It's temporary. It was just to keep the animals that we had issues with getting under that porch that you saw us do the vinyl siding on a few weeks ago. So we did some plumbing work under there. Now that the plumbing's buttoned up, we just covered it for now, just with some cement board to keep the animals out. And then after that, we had some new stairs or steps put on coming down from the porch in two areas. And you'll see those. What else did we have done?
There's so many things I had to write it down. So the new ACs.
Oh yeah, we had the air conditioner people came. They installed two brand new air conditioners, one for downstairs, one for upstairs, 2 zones.
Unfortunately, there's no video of that either, because even though we were there, they really didn't want to be videoed.
Yeah, which is fine. And it's interesting. I'll tell you this, the crews that install these air conditioners, even though you might hire a company locally, there's only so many install crews in Florida. So these people came from 5 hours away. They left at, 3 in the morning to arrive at our home. And they got there, 7, 8, 9 in the morning, whenever they arrived, to do the job. And then they worked all day till it was finished, until dark, and then went home after that. But other than that, you'll start to see some fascia and soffit go on. We opted for metal for the longevity of the home and to allow the attic to breathe.
It was more practical than wood.
Oh yeah, obviously the wood these days just does not hold up to the water and the harsh environment.
Termites,
as well as the termites
in Florida.
Now the old wood held up pretty well to termites. The new wood would not. It would just become a feast for those little buggers. So we're doing all we can to keep the water away from the home. And to allow the attic spaces to breathe, not just the upper attic, which is in fairly good shape, really, and I'll show you pictures of that someday, but also the lower attic area inside the porch.
And as you can imagine, there are a lot of befores and afters for you to take a look at. And if you can like, subscribe, and comment, that really helps the channel.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, enjoy.
We'll see you at the end. Bye.
All right, everybody, it's an exciting morning. We have metal being delivered by Tri-County Metals, local company that does most of the metal roofs in this area. And this is all you get for this entire roof on this house, this metal roof. Each piece has been cut like a puzzle after measuring. They know exactly which piece goes where on the roof. And it's all pre-cut, and they just put it in like a jigsaw puzzle. And that's, of course, after they get it torn out. Now, this is just delivery of the metal and the rubber underlayment, the corner pieces, and everything else they need to get this roof completely done. So over the next couple of weeks, you'll see a major improvement on the look of this home. They're going to stack it off onto the side over there. And then later on today, the installers should arrive to start putting it in. All right, we'll get a little bit more video of that later. This will take him a little bit, and I'll show you what the stack looks like when he's done. Here he comes for another round. And I'm not too concerned about the grass or anything. That'll grow back. All right, folks, see you in a bit. This tiny row of metal is enough metal to cover this entire roof. Both levels of the entirety of this roof, which is hard to believe. Now, we're not doing the garage yet. We'll get that another time. And they are going to leave us some of the older metal sheets. I'm stunned that that's enough metal to do this entire house. It's crazy that it's going to spread that thin. And we got more guys coming today too. It's a pretty morning. All the peaks, all the valleys, everything will be covered. They got every little nook and cranny. And one of the final things we're going to do is we're going to take care of these vents here. Those are just vents. They're covered with screens so nothing can get in, but we're going to have them redone after the roof is done. We're also going to get the fascia and soffit here redone a bit because it's a little bit ratty looking from years of non-paint or sealant. So we'll take care of that as well. But this will be fun to watch.
trains coming by. That's how close it is to our house.
So roofing company decided best to just remove all of the old sheathing. There's a lot of old wood, a lot of it, some of it had termite damage, some water damage. Easier to access some of the joists and trusses without them being blocked by old sheathing. So we had them tear it all out, and we're going to replace it all with ply. They have sistered where that needed to be done, and they have replaced anything that needed to be replaced, and now they're drying it in with plywood, and then they're going to go over it with the rubber membrane. We're hoping to get the front done today, and then we'll move on to one of the sides tomorrow. That's the stack of wood that we had to get. We're up around 30 sheets of plywood. It's going to cost a bit more than we thought initially, but I'd rather do it right and make sure it's done to the best of the roofer's ability, and make sure that it's done for the future, because I really want this house to be done right, and that's what we're doing. Now, some of the old wood, I'll show you, was stacked over here. You can see this side, the way they used to do it is that the trusses were around 3 foot on center. They didn't really do them 16 inches like we do now. But that's okay, they're fine. This is some of the old wood that we had. This is seriously thick wood. It's a full 1 inch by 6 inches. It's not like a 1 by 6 today that weighs nothing. These boards are super heavy. We're taking thousands of pounds off this roof by replacing these boards with ply. And I did want to save some of this, so we have saved quite a bit of it. I might save a little bit more, and I'll show you over here. This heart pine is impossible to find. Some of these pine boards from the center of gigantic, thick, ancient pine trees are hard as a rock, and like I said, impossible to find. So we stacked a bunch of it here, as well as some of the roofing material that we saved as well, that we'll use as maybe when I build a workshop in the shed, I might use it as a ceiling. That would look pretty cool, I think. But this wood here I may use on the inside of the house, maybe to do a single feature wall, possibly with the old antique wood. We will see. But it is fairly expensive wood, and I didn't want to throw it all away, so we got a pretty good stack of it right there.
Hey guys, so this is all the wood, or a lot of it anyway, that came from the wraparound porch roof as well as the main roof. The we just couldn't bear to throw it away. This is wood that is about 100, almost 120 years old, and they just don't make it like that anymore. It's called heart pine, and it came from the heart of the pine, but pines don't get that big anymore. We cut them down, so pine is not considered the hardest wood. This is. We're gonna hopefully use some of it to make walls in the house, maybe even a cabinet or two to hold our records. So while we were away, our stairs were done. They did in the old-fashioned way, where it looks like there's a frame rather than a lip that hangs over. And here's the other side that goes into the kitchen. This one goes into the kitchen. This one is going to go down into the patio.
All right, folks, while Lisa is over there pressure washing still, we're almost done with that. I have been working on the fascia again because I got the roofers coming in the next couple of days. So we started on this side of the house, the right side from the front view. We got here all the way down. Now I have one spot here. The fascia here was in perfect condition, except for there was a knot that fell out. So I covered it temporarily. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pencil that piece of thin wood that I covered it with, and I'm gonna route out a hole as deep as that wood and inset it and then repair it that way, so I don't have to rip the whole board off, because the board is really in good shape. So I'll just make a repair there. Now this side going down this way wasn't too bad. I had to replace a couple of boards and I have to trim one down here, but for the most part it's fairly well done. All the rest of this all the way down to the end, I have to trim this piece. It's kind of bowed a little bit, so I'll get just a saw and I'll cut it flat. And then I'm not worried about the tops, because when the roofer comes, they're gonna put drip edge, and I'll seal anywhere where there's a crack or a gap. And once that drip edge goes on, it's gonna look spectacular. Now in the back, you see there's quite a mess. I had to rip off everything because it was like 3 layers of fascia that were added over the years. They kept making it thicker. Instead of ripping it off, they would just go over it again and again and again. And they did it, I think, because there were gutters here, but the gutters were so full of leaves it made no difference. The water just drained all down onto the fascia and rotted it anyway. So I tore it all off. Now thankfully, because the fascia was so thick and it was good strong wood at one time, I was able to rescue all of these tongues. They really aren't in bad shape because the water never made it that far in. This is how thick they did. This is what they did. I'll show you. They took a 2x4 and fastened that to the fascia and then added another piece of fascia on top of that to bring it out so that it was thicker, which was ridiculous. I ripped it all off. I'm going to reinstall new fascia, new soffit all the way down. They use, as you can see, I don't know if you can get a good close-up of this, how bowed it is and how wavy. They used Luan plywood for soffit, which you can't do. It's just not thick enough, and it gets moisture damage, and it just starts to bow and wave, and it's ridiculous. So I'm going to rip all that down, and we're going to redo the entirety of the soffit. I might even just go aluminum, like I said. We're not sure yet. I had to kilts everything, so I kiltsed the face of most of this. It started to rain, so I had to stop, but we'll catch it next time, and I'll finish the fascia from the back, and I'll film that one. All right, take care, everyone.
So the bottom roof is finally going on, and they've gotten maybe 7/8 of that side done already. Steve's mowing the lawn, but just like that, we've got a new roof.
All right, folks, hope you enjoyed that video. There's been a lot of progress on the outside. The next video that we got coming up soon will be a continuation of that. What we're going to do is, you saw stacks of blocks, pavers in the last video. These were pavers that we removed from the yard all over, but we had so many of them. So what we decided to do was put a little private patio at the bottom of the set of stairs or steps that we added toward the front of the porch, where the old porch was that we tore out.
Yes, right.
So now you'll step down onto a red brick pavered patio when they're done.
Our landscaper came and did not only that, they also did the walkways and the driveway out of stone. It's pretty. There is more to the outside of the house that we've videoed, and you're going to see it, I think, in this next video that we put out. But we don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're getting a lot done in a short amount of time. Pretty soon you'll see another one coming.
And of course, if you could like, subscribe, and comment, that really helps us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.